Welcome back to BT Vancouver. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's a mixed start to the week on the stock market. There's optimism about medical developments and oil drops to a new low. Joining us now to talk more about this is Mike Epple. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mary. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. You mentioned, how these markets have been all over the place, and this morning's a case in point. Stocks on Wall Street and Bay Street have been on both sides of break even already, although I will tell you that we're seeing a little bit of momentum build here for the Dow and the U.S. benchmarks. There's talk about what developed over the weekend. You've got, for example, the U.S. extending the social distancing measures until the end of April. That was an announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump. So, again, you've got a timeline sort of developing here of when can we kind of expect things to start, perhaps, to get back to normal. And, again, it's still guesswork at this point. But you're coming off a week where the Dow and the U.S. markets actually had the best week since the 1930s with gains. Remember that. But still, for the month of March, we're looking at one of the largest monthly declines, well over 20% in recent memory. So you've got this battle underway right now in the financial markets. And again, there might be seller's fatigue. There might be some bargain hunting. It's a lot of speculative work at this point because, again, we don't know what the end game is for this when we're talking about the timeline for the pandemic to pass and then how long it takes for the economies to resuscitate.
Yeah, so far every country has been different. So
exactly right.
April 1st on Wednesday, it's April Fool's Day. How many people are actually going to be able to pay their rent this month?
That is going to be very interesting. They're saying this is sort of a make or break week when we look at things because, again, rent's coming due. And we've already seen so many people file for unemployment benefits, the gig economy, for example, people living paycheck to paycheck. Statistics just in this morning about sky-high debt levels in the latest monthly survey, and people saying, they are worried, if not extremely worried, about being able to afford the debts that are coming due just over the next several weeks. And the first one will be the rent payments on April the 1st. So does that, if they don't pay, have a cascading effect on those people who are the landlords who have to pay the mortgage? And can they get assistance or debt relief, or at least a little bit of grace from the banks or the mortgage holders? And you're still waiting for the specifics about what was announced on Friday from the Trudeau government about wage subsidies to small business operators to keep people on the payroll. There's a lot of moving parts to this. So when I say this is sort of a make or break week, literally what happens over the next few days here might tell a near-term tale regarding economic developments in the short term. So it's going to be really interesting. And I want to mention before we go, Mary, when we're talking about the Canadian economy specifically, what the price for oil is doing this morning, it is a mess. The price for oil in the Western Canadian Select benchmark is trading right now less than $4 per barrel US. So a premium cup of coffee with whipped cream and all that other stuff you put on top is actually worth about the same in dollar terms as a barrel of oil.
Wow.
It's remarkable. The destruction, the economic destruction that is happening in the Canadian energy sector right now. And that might be the next announcement, actually. Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau has hinted that this week there may be assistance coming specifically related to the energy sector because they've dealt with a whole bunch of other things already.
All right, Mike, we are out of time. Thank you so much for your insights, as always. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay.
7:28 here on Breakfast Television. We're going to take a break. We'll have more of your top stories coming up. Stay with us.